Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a quick video on some of my favorite dog products off Amazon. Some of them will be related to raw feeding. Those of you who have watched my videos before know that I feed him a raw diet. I'll link down in the description to my most recent one in case you're interested in that. All of the products that I talk about will also be linked down in the description if you're interested. So the first product that I want to talk about is the grinder that I use. I still get a lot of questions about it on my other videos. I use the Weston Pro 22 grinder. Again, I'll have that link down in the description below as well. But I've had this thing for multiple years, probably close to 4 now, and it still works like a champ. It cuts through chicken bones like it's butter. I haven't tried it on any other types of bones, but I'm sure it would be fine. You just have to look at the description and see what it's capable of doing. But 4 years later, I haven't had to do any maintenance to it. I do store it inside, but other than that, I haven't done anything special with it, and it still works great. The next raw food related thing is the containers that I use to store the grinded meat. These are just cheap little plastic containers that I use over and over again. I fill them with the grinded meat, store them in the freezer, and then I take them out when I'm ready to use them. In the 4 years that I've been raw feeding, I've only had to replace them once, so despite how cheap and flimsy they feel, they hold up really well. The next thing is beef organ supplements. I switch between 2 different kinds depending on which ones are cheaper at the moment. Sometimes there's deals on Amazon. So depending on that, I either use the ancestral supplements, grass-fed beef organs, or the One Earth beef organs. Both of them have liver, heart, kidney, pancreas, and spleen in them, all from beef. Both of them are from New Zealand, and neither of them have any hormones, pesticides, GMO, or fillers. So you can't really go wrong with either of these. The next supplement that I use are hemp chews. I ran out of them and I'm waiting on them in the mail. So I'll put a picture of them on the screen here. I also go between 2 different brands for that as well, just depending on what's cheaper. And the last raw food item that I use every day is this feeding mat. This one's clean. I just washed it. But I just throw it out on the deck outside, and then I take his food when I use it and just plop it upside down, and he licks it right up. I've had this one for probably like 6 months. The last one that I had before this was a little bit bigger. It lasted for 3 years. So pretty sturdy. It's just silicone. All right, the next category is kind of like miscellaneous medical type things. I have canine aspirin. He's an old dog, so sometimes when he jumps off the deck, he's a little too zealous and ends up hurting himself. So this is really nice to help with pain temporarily for him, if that ever happens. The next thing is antiseptic spray. Sometimes he chews on his paws because he's a German Shepherd and he has obsessive compulsive chewing usually. Sometimes he has allergy flare-ups as well in the summer, so this is really good to spray on his paws. I'm assuming it tastes really bad, so it stops him from chewing on his paws that way, but then it also seems to really speed up the recovery if he has any type of sore or anything like that. It's antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-yeast. The last thing in that category we don't really use anymore, and that's Triz Ultra plus Keto Flush for his ears. He used to get ear infections pretty frequently before we switched over to the raw diet. He still gets them like once in a blue moon, not nearly as much, but when he does, this stuff is great. I think you can use it for like preventative as well, but we usually do this anytime he starts itching his ears and it looks like he might be starting to get an infection, and it takes care of it within a couple days. All right, and the last category is kind of like fun stuff for him. The first thing is this Jolly Ball. This is the second one we've had for him. I think technically it's a horse toy, but as you can see, he has torn it up pretty good. These are all his little teeth marks, but it still holds its shape. You can pretty much deflate it. All right. But he likes grabbing onto it and kind of flinging it himself. Or we're able to just throw it pretty far in the yard, and he loves chasing after it. He's kind of the size of a horse, so I guess it makes sense. This one's a little bit bigger than the last one we got him. All right, go for it. Jeez. So anyway, that's the second one. He absolutely loves it. All right, you ready? The next product, oh, gross. Thanks, bud. Anyway, the next product is not technically from Amazon, although I'm sure you can probably find some on Amazon, and that is coconuts. He loves ripping through the coconut, and it really helps his teeth. It helps with cleaning them because he just like tears through the whole of it. We have palm trees all over the place, so we just get coconuts from there. If we can't find it, if we can't find any, then I can also just grab them from the grocery store. And he loves ripping them apart, and then he eats the coconut flesh once he's broken it open. Sorry if he's whining now. It started to sprinkle outside, and he's a big baby. So the last product are these spent grain dog treats. Okay. Oh, good boy. As you can tell, they're very crunchy. I make them out of spent beer grain from beer that we homebrew, and all of the proceeds go to a nonprofit that helps special needs adults and their caretakers in Collier County. So I will be posting a video pretty soon with my recipe, but for now, if you wanted to pick any of these up for your dog, I'll have a link to them in the description as well, and all of the profit goes to the nonprofit. So it's a good cause. They're all natural, made with carrots, spent grains, whole wheat flour, eggs, and cinnamon, and that's it. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go feed him now, and I hope to see you guys next time.